Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I am here with the 23rd update of our ETF portfolio. And as you can see, our portfolio value went up to almost 72,000 Swiss francs. So we are really happy about that. But what we are most happy about is the fact that SDGPEX or ISPA is boosting our dividend income with a serious hike for the last quarter payment of 2025. So let's go into it. So it's the wrap up for September of 2025. As the end of the 3rd of October of 2025. I didn't have time before because I made two other videos and I was also on a holiday with my family to visit our family in Belgium. And yeah, then things happen, of course, so I needed to have the time to make this video. And I'm first going to talk about the dividends that we received in September, then what we bought in September. What I'm going to buy in October is going to be FLXD with the dividends that we are going to receive from SGPX in October, and of course GLDV because that needs to increase further in our portfolio. And then I'm going to talk about the current value of our ETF portfolio. I'm going to show GetQueen as well about our ETF portfolio. Then the predicted future yearly dividends for our ETF portfolio, the dividends to be received in October, with focus on SDGPX, of course, and then finally the overview to finish this video off. So, as always, our income ETF XYLF, the covered call S&P 500 ETF from Global X, 200 shares, which gave us 23.20 US dollar because we received per share 0.115977 dollars per share. And you always have the conversion ratio here, so that's the currency rate, and this meant that we received 18.54 Swiss francs in dividends. But you know, I already invested this amount into EMHD because with the dividend from EMHD that we received on the 18th of September, I invested all the rest of the dollars that we received before into EMHD. I made a video about that. I will put that link of that video in the description down below as well. And yeah, we received for the 21 shares that we had at that time from EMHD, we received $0.4847 per share, giving us $10.18 in total. Then we also received euros from LGG, so 359 shares of that one with a really low amount of dividend. You know how it goes with the European dividend ETFs. It's always the second quarter that pays out the most dividends. So yeah, this dividend payment wasn't that much, and it's going to be the same in December, of course. But still, it gave us 34.68 euros in total. FLXD, that one is better distributed for dividend payments because the UK is included there as well, and there you do have a lot of companies that pay quarterly dividends. So there we received 0.2065 euros per share, and we have 207 shares of FLXD. So there we received 42.75 euros in dividends. And to finish things off, on the 1st of October, although it was already detached, so ex-dividend date was 18th of September, we received the dividend on the 1st of October. So now I didn't forget it, just like I did 3 months ago when I made the update video of June. So now I didn't make the mistake of forgetting VHYL. And yeah, 113 shares giving us 0.479961 US dollars per share. So in total 54.24 US dollars. And yeah, this was after I already invested in EMHD. So this is already more than 10% of the way to go to have another around 500 US dollars to make a next investment in EMHD, because on the 18th of September we bought 18 shares at a price of 26.35 US dollars in total, with the cost 481.38 US dollars we needed to invest into EMHD. And yeah, like in the video, said in the video that I made earlier about buying EMHD, it was way faster than the first time that we bought EMHD. So we started buying ETFs in October of 2023. That gave us US dollar as a dividend. Then it took us more than 14 months to be able to buy the first tranche of EMHD, and then it only took us about 9 months to buy the second one. So now already 10 of the 10% of the way there to buy another tranche of EMHD. So I hope we will get there in about 7.5 months. But yeah, we always have to wait and see, of course. But I'm positively minded, so I hope we will get there in about 7 months to buy another tranche of EMHD. Then we also bought GLDV on the 25th because yeah, then my wage was paid, so I transferred the money for our children and for our own ETF portfolio to the Swissquote account, and I invested, of the 900 Swiss francs, I invested 891.10 Swiss francs into GLDV, the Spider S&P Global Dividend Aristocrat ETF. So 31 pieces at a price of 28.45 Swiss francs. So now our ETF portfolio looks like this. For GLDV we have 31 pieces more, so 263 right now, with a price of 29. So compared to the last time, that's a drop. But because we added 31 pieces, we are still well in the green for our GLDV position. The same is the fact for EMHD. So there we added 18 pieces. We are slightly in the red for the price wise, and also the currency went down a little bit. But yeah, we are well in the green there with 809.08 Swiss francs. SDGPEX was positive, VHYL was positive, and XYLF was just 0.5 cents in the green, so just slightly. But we also received the dividend, of course, of XYLF. So our income ETF not really performing that great, but it's doing what it's supposed to do, and that is generating the income of US dollars into our ETF portfolio so that we can buy more EMHD. So the total value of our portfolio at the end of August, it was 70,599.72 Swiss francs. Now we added 18 pieces of EMHD and 31 pieces of GLDV. So at the end of September, or I should say now the 3rd of October, on Friday evening, it was 71,926.765 Swiss francs. So that's a plus of 1,326.93 Swiss francs. But of course, we invested 1,257.93 without cost into our ETF portfolio. So that means a plus of 69 Swiss francs. So almost 0.10% in gains, but it's not that big of a plus this month. But if I have made this video on the 25th of September, I would have been well in the red, because at the 25th of September I was more or less standing about at 70,600 Swiss francs. So that meant that I would have been in the red for 1,257 Swiss francs. But the last 3 days, yeah, the portfolio went up. Especially 3 days ago, the portfolio shot up quite big time. And then on Thursday it moved down a little bit, but then yesterday it went up once again. So nothing to complain there. And reporting a slight gain is always fun, but it doesn't really matter because we are in the market for the long time, and timing the market beats timing the market. Also when reporting my results here. And we also received 5 dividends. So we have a plus of 69 Swiss francs, but with the dividends from XYLF, we added 18.54 Swiss francs. Even though the dollar amount is larger than the dollar amount that we received the month prior to this, our Swiss francs amount is actually a little bit lower because of the currency exchange that lowered once again, so the dollar became even weaker. Then we have EMHD, which added 8.07 Swiss francs, so it's not much, but next time it's going to increase a little bit more because we added 18 pieces of EMHD, of course. Then we have LDG adding 32.43 Swiss francs or 34.68 euros. As you know, I'm not exchanging dollars or euros back to Swiss francs for now because we haven't retired yet. I'm putting the euros back into FLXD or SDGPEX. Most of the time it's going to be FLXD right now because the SDGPEX position is still too large in total, but we are moving away from the 60% region, so we moved down to 59.4% now for the SDGPX position, and it needs to come down to 35%, so we are making progress. VHYL, it's 43.24 Swiss francs that we added there, or 54.24 US dollar. So actually we are plus 168.01 Swiss francs or plus 0.24% this past month. So not that great, but not bad at all as well. And the total dollar amount on our Swiss quote account is now 54.81 US dollar. So we had 448.57. We added 23.2 and 10.18. And then we bought EMHD for 481.38 US dollar. And then we had only 57 cents left. But then, of course, came the dividend of VHYL, adding 54.24 US dollar to our account once again. And now we are at $54.81. And our euro amount on our Swiss quote account is now 88.10 euros. Then we can go to our predicted future dividends. So we added to our GLDV and our EMHD positions. So there we are well in the green for our dividends there. And then SDGPX really made the difference this month because they announced a really big dividend hike. I'm going to mention that in the next slide. But you see here that we are up from 1,922.65 euros, Swiss francs, to 2,015.98 Swiss francs. So almost a plus of 100 Swiss francs, even though the conversion rate dropped slightly from 0.937 to 0.934. But yeah, the dividend hike of the last quarter for SDGPX is just enormous, so we are really happy about that. And now we are up to a yearly dividend of predicted dividend of 3,259.08 Swiss francs, and monthly this corresponds to a dividend of on average 271.59 Swiss francs. And that's what we have now, of course. Every time when SDGPX is paying out a dividend, there we have a huge spike, and we want to bring down the percentages of SDGPX in our portfolio, increase the other ones so that the monthly distribution that we receive is more evenly. That's why I'm going to invest more in GLDV the coming month as well. I did it this month, so in September already, and now I'm going to add to it this month as well. And the dividends for October, of course, our income ETF XYLF is went ex coupon on Thursday already. The record date was yesterday on Friday, and the payable date is the 10th of October. It should be 10/10, of course. So I forgot the zero here. My apologies for that. And the amount that they are going to pay out is $0.113299, or a slight drop compared to the year before, where we received $0.125020. So you can see that in this graph as well. It's well in the red, because also in September the dividend that they paid out was slightly lower than the dividend that they paid out in September of 2024. So I already included the new amount of XYLF that they are going to pay out in October, and there we also have a slight red amount compared to the last year. And then SDGPEX on the 15th of October, they are going to go ex coupon, and they almost always pay on the same date. So on the 15th of October, we will receive per share 0.411158 euros. And this is compared to 0.335406 euros of last year in the same quarter. So that's a dividend increase of 22.59%. But we need to mention it's only in the fourth quarter that this is the case. The previous quarter, they actually paid out a little bit less than the year before. So we have to look at it for a whole year of 2025 compared to 2024. And there we see that in total, SDGPX is going to pay out 1.5352 euros compared to 1.4569 euros in 2024. And this means that we still have a hike of 5.37% for the whole year, which is quite nice. And especially, yeah, the hike that we see now for the last quarter makes that we have an increase of more than 120 Swiss francs in October, with the extra buys that we did of EMHD and also GLDV. So the other ETFs, we still have to wait and see what they are going to pay out in the fourth quarter, because a lot of the ETFs you see here are also in the red. So VHYL paid out a little bit less in the third quarter. FLXD paid out less in the third quarter, and EMHD also paid out less in the third quarter. So compared to the previous year, so there we are slightly in the red compared to the amount that I gave in my previous update. So I will discuss it then in the next videos when they announce their next dividend, whether or not they also give us overall in 2025 a dividend hike compared to 2024. So more about that later in upcoming update videos. So we can go to the update overview. We invested 1,272.69 Swiss francs. So it's 891.10 Swiss francs of new money and 381.59 Swiss francs of reinvested dividends, which correspond to the amount of $481.38. And we deposited also 200 Swiss francs in my U portfolio, and you can check out my previous video for that. There we were for the month slightly in the red, so there maybe I should have waited a little bit longer, but it's only fair I always report what is the case on that moment, and there I was 69 Swiss francs in the red, or 62. I should check it, but it's 62 or 69 Swiss francs in the red. So the future yearly dividends now are 3,259.08 Swiss francs per year. This means a plus of 120.98 Swiss francs in total, which is unbelievable. And as I showed for SDGPEX, just with the hike of the last payment announcement, it's up 95 Swiss francs. So the other 25 francs comes from the buys of GLDV and EMHD. And we are now at 271.59 Swiss francs per month. And as you know, the next big goal is 300 Swiss francs per month. But we also cracked 3,250 Swiss francs per year. So another thing that we are celebrating, not so big time as we will when we reach the 300 Swiss francs per month marker. But yeah, every marker that we hit, we are happy about all of them. So past month we are up 168.01 Swiss francs. So only 0.24%, but if you put your money just on the bank, you'll only have 0%. So, and we are all at a new all-time high as well. So total portfolio worth is now 71,926.65 Swiss francs. If we look at GetQueen, so there we are actually above 72,000 right now, because there they calculate always with the bid and ask prices that are coming in after market. They are still calculating the worth of the ETFs based on that. And there we moved up slightly compared to the end prices that are given on the SIX stock exchange market. And yeah, it ends at about when the market closes in America, so at about 10 o'clock in the evening, then the price is actually fixed. So for the rest of this weekend, I will see this price 72,064.32. And here you can see the allocation of our portfolio. So here you can see that now we have 59.40% in SDGPX. GLDV is up now to 10.54%. It needs to come up to 25%. So we have a long way to go. And that's why I'm aiming at, at buying more of GLDV. And how do I get back? I will do it like this. Well, no. And if you look at our portfolio value, the maximum amount, you see that this one starts only in 2021, because we moved into Switzerland in 2019. And then I started investing slowly here in Switzerland on Swissquote. Then you see here a big rise. That's when I transferred most, everything in fact. So the last amounts that we still had in Belgium, I moved them to Switzerland. And since then, I'm reporting about this portfolio. Actually, I started in November of 2023. Or October 2023, I started reporting about our portfolio here on my YouTube channel. And yeah, since then we came up huge. So I'm really happy about that. The only thing that is still annoying me, here you can see that when I transferred most of the assets from Belgium to Switzerland, that our dividend moved up as well. But since 2023, here you can see the right amounts. Here it's not completely correct, because we still had assets in Belgium as well then. But they need to come up with the dividends for 2026, because it's really annoying that we are only 3 months away from 2026 and we still can't see our predicted future dividend for 2026. I always calculate it myself, but yeah, it's not that amusing that you have a tracker, but for dividend investors that they don't do the, how do you call it? They don't do their best to include the next year already. So previous year they did it already in September, and now we are in October and it's still not there. So I want to ask the people from GetQueen to do that as fast as possible. And yeah, we are now having a 4.53% dividend yield. The yield on cost is 4.87%. And if you don't calculate the dividends as reinvested money, then we have actually on that amount that we invested without the dividends reinvested a dividend yield of 5.70%. But as you know, I don't think this is the correct one. Dividends that you receive becomes your own money, and when you reinvest that, that's a new investment with your own money. So only these two numbers are actually relevant for me: 4.53% dividend yield and 4.87% yield on cost. So well above the 4% marker, and the 4% marker is important because this means that my 300, my rule of 300 still applies, and this means that for every 300 Swiss francs that I invest, I will receive at least 1 Swiss francs back in dividend per month. And with that being said, I thank you for watching to this one. Please hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. It helps out the channel enormously. Thank you for watching to this one, and see you on the next one on my YouTube channel. Bye.